Hello, Mrs. Murder here, and we've got a doozy of a mystery. We've got The Silkworm. The Silkworm is the second book in the series by Robert Galbraith, and last week we talked about Cuckoo's Calling. So this is the second one, and then next week we'll be we'll be reviewing A Career of Evil. Phew, I'm telling you, these are getting pretty challenging. This one, The Silkworm, is a little bit at time hard to handle. I mean, it just depends upon your imagination, I guess. If you can take something that's extremely gory and just kind of remove yourself from it and isolate yourself from it, and then maybe you can get through some of the rougher parts of this mystery. But it's really interesting that I would be reading a book like this, because this is as close to what I've always imagined Stephen King books were like. It's very, very gripping and very horrific, and some of the gory details are over and over again re-examined. So in the first book, I was really applauding the re-examining from every angle some of the details, but I'm not a person with a bent for a forensic psychologist or forensics, and so I don't get into this really, all these different body examinations of cadavers. Anyway, it seems like we sure do have different cadavers in this book, and have a cadaver like I've never come across in any of my mystery reading. I assume that our hero, Strike, he was in the military, he was in the war, he had his leg blown, bottom part of his leg blown off. He has seen, we'll say it, blood and guts before in gory situations, and so for him maybe it wasn't quite the shock it would be for an ordinary reader like me. This kind of book is not a Brother Cadfael. It's not one of my warm cozies, and it's not one of my Janet Ivanovich, or it's very different, very different. J.K. Rowling, okay, Robert Galbraith got me on this one, and this is the second, and as soon as there's so many people involved in this. The murder victim was a writer, and this is about a group of authors who are all competing to get their publications out, and whose work is authentic, whose isn't, who's betrayed whom, all manner of conflict between all these different writers that are in this one particular group. And so you know there's a lot of animosity, there's a lot of stealing of each other's ideas, or saying, well, this was my book, no it wasn't, it was, and hiding the manuscript so that someone can't publish it, and not allowing it to be released, locking it in the safe, and then everybody sneaking into the safe to read the manuscript of the alleged murder. So this has got all kinds of different angles of intrigue, and so many characters, to remember their names and remember what kind of writings they did and how they were involved with the victim. It was just absolutely I feel like I'm on a roller coaster. I've read it, I've let it rest for a couple of days, and I feel like I'm just still on the roller coaster coming down the hill, and just wondering what's going to come from either side, because this was quite a tumultuous trip, I will say. From this one, I'll be moving on to career, I think. I started it and I went, oh, can't do it yet. So it's taken a couple days to read the first couple of chapters. But A Career of Evil, and starts out with Robin, who of course is our very adept, very sweet, very accomplished young lady who is helping Strike solve all these. And she has been injured, so she in the last book, so she's still convalescing, but she gets in the mail a leg. Yes, a leg, a human leg. And so this one's starting, I'm going, oh no, more body parts, more body. It's not really a joke, you know, it isn't written humorously, but I guess I can take it, I just have to take it lightly and move on to find out, was this stolen from a funeral? Was it taken from a mortician's home? Was this leg? We won't go any farther than that. I'm just saying, here our hero, Strike, has had part of his leg removed, and now a leg comes in the mail. Another person had part of a leg removed too, but anyway, that's another story. So if you will pick this book up, well, I read them in order. I enjoy reading them in order because there are certain events that one follow the other, but it doesn't detract, I do not think, if you read them out of order. So I guess there's another book after this one I just heard, so I will be reading that and showing that to you after I review this one. Have a nice day and have a good read, and this is something to keep you on your toes, to keep you awake, and keep you engrossed while you're stay-homing, and you can take your mask off to read a book. Talk to you later. Love you. Bye.